Hi, welcome to Stash It Monday. I'm Barbara Michelle, and here is the inspiration piece for this week. What really inspired me for my layout, though, was this pattern paper by Pink Fresh Studios. That vertical column of colorful strips was my inspiration. So for my layout, I'll be using a pattern paper by Crepe Paper, and here I was cut off the manufacturer strip, and now I'm cutting the middle of the pattern paper. I wanted to use this paper as a border on my layout, but I also wanted to use the pattern as a mat for my photo. So I cut out the middle so I could use that part later. This is a piece of black 12 by 12 cardstock that I'm trimming down so that I can put on top of my border. I like the gutting technique. I like being able to use, as much of the pattern paper as possible. But I don't always like trying to get that main piece on top of the border strip. It's not a lot of room to maneuver. Plus, once it goes down, it's pretty much stuck. ATG will tear the paper if I try and lift it off. So it's slightly crooked, but not enough to bother me. Here I'm inking the edges of my photo. And I was just flapping it around so it would dry a little bit. And then I'm going to layer my photo, layer, that would be right. Mat my photo on the pattern paper that I had cut out earlier. I will also ink the edges of this pattern paper that's around my photo. The photo is of my husband, Jeff. He's standing in the kitchen of our first home we had together. We rented it for a few years. I just wanted to remember, the address of where we were. And he looks so young in that photo. Here I'm layering it I'm layering it on top of some vellum. I wanted to use the 2 layers of vellum, that's why I folded it in half. When I put the vellum on I like the way it looks when it's kind of askew. I like to be able to see that there's clearly 2 layers. So I purposely put it down so that it doesn't line up perfect. There we go. Alright, so now for the inspiration that I got from that pattern paper, the column of inspiration. I had originally thought that I would put a whole line of these word phrase stickers, like all the way down the whole page, but I ended up spacing them out, and you'll see that in just a few minutes. Spacing them out a little bit more because they don't quite fit together perfectly. And as I was spacing them out, they felt like they were floating on the page. So I decided that I'm going to do a line of stitching on the page to help anchor those words so they're not just there. Oh, here goes the stitching. I haven't stitched a whole lot on paper before, and the stitching felt a little bit loose. So I would secure it with washi tape anyway, but I'm going to secure the whole strip with washi tape. And you'll see that in a second. There we go. Just because it felt like the stitching was loose, like I said. And I didn't want it to come out. My layout ends up being pretty much black and white. All the embellishments that I use, the papers that I use, are all black and white. The only color comes from the photo, and there's not a whole lot. There's some brown, and then my husband's wearing blue. Well, here goes the words again. The one at the top, it says just begin, and I wanted to be sure that one at the top because it seemed appropriate. And then I had one at the bottom that says, and then she slept. Even though the layout is about my husband, I thought it was fine to put it on there anyway. The other ones don't really go in any particular order. I was just kind of seeing how they fit, more their size wise, how they would look on either side of that line of stitching. Once I get them laid out, I'm just going to take my little tape runner. It's a Tombow tape runner. It's the mono dot one. I love that thing. If I don't use my ATG gun, I generally use that mono dot tape runner. All right, after I get those, I got all the words secured. Now I'm just putting down my photo. And here I'm going to go through some embellishments to see what I could add to the layout. I only end up using this embellishment here. It says Cherish, the here and now. And then I'm going to punch out 2 hearts from a scrap piece of cardstock, black cardstock. I used 2 punches, slightly different sizes. Oh, I'll do that in a minute. First, I'm still trying to add more to the layout, sticking with the black and white embellishments. I really like how this layout turned out. It's super simple, but I like it. So there's one of those tiny little hearts. And here's the other. I have just had these 2 small heart punches. They're slightly different shaped hearts. One's a little bit thinner or skinny, like a long skinny heart, and the other one's like a short fat heart. That's the end of my layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out all the other Crafty Mavens and have a wonderful day.